Welcome to Inside Network's INBrief at the Income and Defensive Asset Symposium. My guest today is Chris Cornforth from Harvest Hotels. Welcome, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Can you explain the premise of the Harvest Pub Fund?
Yeah, sure. So we look to buy pubs in high growth areas, and we look to find value in areas where there's good buying, attractive cap rates where we can add value.
I'm going to use the word hospitality rather than pub, but what are the key drivers to the hospitality sector?
Look, for what we look for, we're looking for businesses with really good diverse income across gaming, accommodation, food and beverage. We're looking for businesses with good earnings, but most importantly, that they're in well-located regions that are growing and robust.
Yeah, it's everything you say about property, isn't it? Location, location, location. I have heard you speak before about a country town and 3 pubs and one's super popular and the other 2 don't get any traffic. So apart from drinking a lot of beers, how do you assess which one you're going to buy and which one is appropriate for your fund? Yeah,
for sure. So for us, it starts, we apply a selection criteria to it that highlights the areas we want to be in, and then we look at the operator and who's running it. If they're a really good operator and the business is well advanced in its life cycle, we'll probably leave it alone. And we're looking for those pubs where we can see some upside, where there's low-hanging fruit, probably underinvested, and there's plenty for us to do.
Got it. And that, valuations in the hospitality industry, do they compare favourably or similar to the commercial property industry?
We think we're at a bit of an advantage there. There's quite a large spread between, say, shopping centres, fast food outlets and other real property-backed investments to what pubs are. Now, we are operating these assets, but we look to buy pubs anywhere between sort of 8 and 10% cap rate.
And what level of returns would a investor expect? It's always hard, but a broad level of returns that an investor might expect going into your currently open Harvest Pub Fund?
So for us, we're promoting an 8% cash distribution paid quarterly.
Yep.
In the past, I think 21, we paid out 11%, and we've been tracking to about 8% for this financial year as well. We also look for growth. I mean, we go into these pubs and we're looking to add value through operational and capital improvements, and we promote an IRR of about 17.5%.
At the moment, the product is a closed-end fund. Is that correct?
It is. We're looking for a 3 to 5 year lifespan. Currently, we're buying pubs in suburban Adelaide,
yep,
and it hits all our metrics. Really good growth opportunities, fragmented market, all these things, and 17.5% IRR with 8% distributions.
So what happens after the end of 3 or 5 years? Do you sell the pub portfolio as a whole? Do you sell them off individually? Does it go into a new trust for new shareholders?
For us right now, we're looking at building a high quality business of scale. So we want to build a portfolio of scale which gives us optionality at exit. And that ideally is a bigger player coming in and sweeping them all up. But we'd be quite happy to look for listings or other options at an exit.
Yeah, great. Perfectly understand the asset class. Tell us a little bit about how the pandemic affected valuations and cash flows within the pub sector.
Yeah, pandemic for us was 2 stages. One, when they closed the pubs, that was difficult. We had to stand staff down. The second stage was during sort of January and February in 22 when there was this lockdown without a lockdown. That caused a lot more operational difficulties. From a cash flow perspective, it was all about managing runway during the first, lockdown. But what we did see was a bit of a rush to the space, and we certainly got a bit of a free hit through asset valuations, and cap rates did compress in that time. So while it was, very difficult in terms of managing staff and operations and cash, from an investor return perspective, they certainly got a lot of growth.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.